Kevin Owens and CM Punk get personal, get physical, and we have ourselves a WWE Championship match. With that, let's break down SmackDown. Welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, joined by Mr. Real Deal. And Real Deal, it seems like WWE is going through a bit of a, I think I said this after our Raw review, but a bit of a soft reset with both of their red brand and their blue brand. How you feeling after the first SmackDown after SummerSlam?
So, for being the first SmackDown after basically the mid-year reset, hopefully this is a sign of better things to come for the fall, because this was definitely, outside of a couple complaints, mainly the main event, I think this was probably one of the better SmackDowns that we've had in a while. I mean, it had a lot of long-winded promos, but those promos were very good and very easy to get invested in. So I normally hate longer promos, but I think they did a great job with them.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of those promos, specifically the main ones surrounding the title, I guess. So first, we had the show. We had a surprise opening by one American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who made his way to the ring and just kind of basically demanded Randy Orton show his face, and he was ready for a fight. And he kind of went on a little bit of a rant. This went on for a minute, and it brought out CM Punk, who again told Cody Rhodes, "Hey, look, didn't know Randy was going to do what he did at our title match." And Randy or Punk said to Cody, "Look, when you want your rematch, you just let me know." This brought out Kevin Owens, who surprisingly just took the microphone from Cody Rhodes. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, he didn't like rip it from his hands or push him or like do anything else or even just like walk right past him. Like, they kind of, because they've got a lot of heat between the two of them as well. And I was kind of surprised Owens didn't say more about Cody Rhodes, even like in his little backstage thing with Sami Zayn. There was like kind of nothing about going after Cody, which I kind of thought was a little bit interesting. But I digress. We had CM Punk and Kevin Owens in the ring, and this is kind of the thing we've all been waiting for, right? Because these two are some of the best on the microphone in the business. And it didn't disappoint. This was a fantastic promo. They went back and forth. Punk, at one point in time, made fun of Owens' weight. And, they kind of went on their history a little bit and, eventually kind of developed into fisticuffs. And CM Punk said, look, I'm going to break your neck again and put you out. And I liked everything about this. I think, over the course of the next few weeks here until we get the inevitable showdown, I think the first of a couple of showdowns at the Toronto SmackDown show in a couple of weeks, I think is when they announced this match is going to be. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the back and forth, and I got to imagine this is going to be more than just one match.
I mean, if anything, I'll start with Punk and Owens. I think that this promo showed that we're in for spectacular mic work. I mean, I think that from what I understand, these two guys don't have any sort of actual heat amongst each other. They're not the biggest fans of each other, but most of the heat between these two guys, from what I've been reading, is generated by the fan bases. So it really surprised me how personal some of the shots got, especially like at the end when you could tell that Owens legitimately pissed off Punk when he told him that he was never going to be a miserable piece of shit, which surprised me that they got that onto national TV, because we all know that, of course, who knows, because now Netflix likes to be kind of censor happy themselves. So who knows? Maybe we'll get less censoring on real TV than on fake TV. But I think if this is a sign of what's to come, we're going to be eating good as fans. And I mean, we pretty much predicted it to be great like this. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that this alone didn't start the show, that they started with Cody. And obviously Cody wanted to call out Randy, and I'm glad to see that we're going to be pivoting away from him in the title picture, thankfully. And that'll hopefully relieve some of the Cody fatigue that we were dealing with.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And the only thing I think I don't like about this, like immediately off the cuff, like my kind of initial reaction to this is that I don't think Owens is going to win.
Plus, does Sammy screw Punk? Because they also had that interaction backstage where Punk was just an absolute dick to Sammy. And I wouldn't be surprised if in one of these matches you saw Sammy screw Punk.
Yeah, and we had Owens and Zayn backstage as well, kind of being like, look, I'm going to be next in line. It's not going to stop me for my inevitable goal to become the champion again. And yeah, I mean, maybe I could see something down the road of Punk and Cody versus Zayn and Owens at some point. After Cody and Randy are done, kind of depends. And we'll talk about Cody and Randy in a second, but yeah, I don't know. I worry that WWE is just not going to stray away from their plan. But man, it's a long time to keep the belt on Punk, like all the way until WrestleMania. That seems like a really long time to keep the belt on Punk. But then again, he did just win it though. Like, I mean, a month ago, barely, so is it too soon?
I mean, if you keep the title on Punk for until WrestleMania, that's almost 9 to 10 months.
Yeah.
That is a very long title reign for somebody who is 50 years old. And you get my point, though. And he's closer to 50 than he is 40. And we all know that his body has a tendency to break down on him. And because he's not, as much as he wants to say that he is, he's not the CM Punk of old. And I don't know that WWE trusts that he can hold the title for that long. Because, I mean, when he held the Raw title, he held it for what? Like 6 months? Something like that?
He won it at the January show, and he lost it in April to Roman, so 4 months.
No, he won it before the January show, didn't he?
No, he won it. It was a number one contenders match, or wasn't it the match for the title between him and Braun Breaker after Rollins dropped it?
Rollins dropped it in the fall, though, didn't he? Because we had Jay versus Punk for the vacant title.
You might be right.
But I digress while you're looking that up. My point that I was trying to make is I don't know that Punk physically will be able to not just live up to WWE's demands, but the high standard that he puts on himself as a professional wrestler.
Yeah, you're right. November 1st, he beat Jey Uso, 169-day reign until he lost it to Roman.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know that, like I said, I don't know that not only can he live up to the standard WWE wants, but the own standard that he sets. 9 to 10 months just seems like a very long reign for Punk.
And I got to be honest with you, I don't want him to hold it that long. Like, he can win it, lose it, and then even hell, if we even need to have him win it back, like, so be it.
Here's a question for you, because during the week, they advertised that a certain destroyer was going to be making his way over to SmackDown for some reason. Does Oba cash in his King of the Ring shot against Punk? Or whoever the SmackDown champion ends up being at the time?
I mean, the big money match is him versus Roman, but if Roman... I know some of our subscribers have mentioned that Roman's going to do the Dwayne thing. And, if Roman is in fact going to do the Dwayne thing, that kind of sucks, though, for that title on Raw. I know we're not talking about Raw now, but man, I don't want to keep the title on Roman until April. Like, do we really want Roman to hold the title for a whole year? Because I don't. I really don't. But at the same time, like, I don't want to just, like, wait, right? Like, even if we are going to do the Oba match, we're going to wait until WrestleMania. Like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to keep the title on Roman for a whole year, and because Roman's a part-timer, and I don't want to keep the title on Punk for practically a whole year either. Like, it's too long for two for a part-timer who's old and a guy who's really old to be holding both of your primary titles. I think
Yep.
it's way too long when you have a bunch of other people who don't have a lot of time left either. Like Owens doesn't have a lot of time left. He's probably on his last contract. Sammy deserves another crack at it. I'd love to see Randy get number 15. I mean, you've got Oba, you've got Braun Breaker, you've got a ton of guys who like should probably be the champion in the next 12 to 18 months, right? Jacob Batu, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, and we're just going to keep it on these two guys. Not saying like anything against Punk, but like, it's more so kind of for me a shot at Roman. Like, I'm kind of done with Roman as champion. I don't think I want Roman to be the champion anymore. Not saying I love his matches and Roman's excellent. I am going to be really sad when he hangs it up, but just kind of done with Roman as champion.
It's because Roman as champion is a lot of the same story every time.
Yep.
And it's the one, I mean, it's the reason why we were getting sick of Cody as champ. Like, it's to the point where you get just fatigue from the same people holding the titles all the time. And
it seems like
I
there's
don't,
nothing left for him. It seems
right.
like there's nothing left for Roman to do.
Right. Roman's
the
at this point.
Match. The Oba match and the Dwayne match. That's all you have left for Roman to do.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, and maybe a match with Braun Breaker.
Yeah, but I mean, like, LA Knight's not beating him.
No. I did hear something interesting, though, about what if, so we're about to hit Money at the Bank season, and give me a second to fantasy book here based off what I heard. What if Jay wins the Money at the Bank? And hold on. And because he's so pissed off about the way Roman has been trying to do everything different this time and not wanting them really like interfering during the matches and all that, he cashes in during Roman and LA Knight, and LA Knight pins Jay.
Are we going to wait until October to do Roman and LA Knight?
I mean, it's the next PLE. Technically. I mean, there's the Saturday night main event, but we all know Roman doesn't do title matches on that.
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool. That would be a lot of fun. It'd be a fun way to get the title on Southern California night, but...
And it lets you protect Roman.
Yeah. And then you could kind of do your thing, you could kind of swing Roman off to do, that match we kind of fantasy booked a while ago with him and Jacob versus the Usos, and then some kind of inevitable thing with him and Dwayne. But I also wouldn't hate, like, I don't know. I wouldn't hate like Solo being the one to do it too. I got to be honest with you. I'm really loving. So I don't think Solo doesn't strike me as like champion material right now, but I love everything they're doing with Solo right now. And I know we're going way off the beaten path here, but like, yeah, man, that would be a lot of fun.
I just don't know that I would want to see Southern California pin Solo. I think it being Jay makes more sense.
Sure.
Like if you do it that way. But just I digress. That we went off topic there for a second. But I wanted to get your thoughts on that being a way they could actually put the belt on Los Alamos night for a little while.
Los Alamos night. Let's talk about the other side, the other long talky segment as well, and that was of course between Cody and Randy Orton, which came about later on in the show. Cody again came to the ring, all bent out of shape about Orton, and Orton was in there, kind of explaining why he did. Him and Cody got into it a little bit. Orton left the ring, and then Cody, while Orton was leaving, Cody basically was like, you owe me this, blah 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 blah. And Randy was like, you told me to do this. You told me to be the Viper. You wanted me to be the Viper, and this is what you got. You ask and you shall receive is kind of what Orton made it all about there, which was kind of interesting, but also kind of a little dumb, because I really think that they should have, maybe they're just trying to sweep the Pat McAfee thing under the rug a little bit and pretend like it didn't happen.
Yep.
But then Cody's retort, I thought, was the best part of this whole thing, where Cody was like, you call yourself the legend killer, but look around the landscape. There are no legends left. You're the last one, and who's going to kill you? I loved that. I thought that was a fantastic line from Cody. And again, I've heard from, the Wrestling Observer Radio that Cody's not good on the microphone, but he did also tease a heel turn as well, which I
Yep.
also think was kind of cool here. So I liked everything about this, and this match screams the main event of Saturday night's main event.
Unless it ends up being some sort of crazy stipulation match, I don't know that they would put a super stipulation on Saturday night's Sunday night's main event in this case. Brought to you by Jesse Ventura's Conspiracy Theories. But you're right. Honestly, the two biggest takeaways for me out of this promo, or there's three because you hit all of them, is it screams some sort of stipulation, and the heel turn from Cody. Is this where we finally see Codelander, and the fact that he was like, you know what? I've done the good guy thing. I don't have the belt anymore. I don't have to be good for the fans and for the belt. I can actually take you out and do what I need to. And then that line about the Legend Killer. I think that line about the Legend Killer was the best line of the promo.
Yeah.
Of look around you, you're the last legend standing, and who kills you? I absolutely loved that.
And Orton's been missed, man. Like, I know he's been gone since WrestleMania, but like, he's just such a natural. And like, dude can make any feud entertaining. Like, he's so good. And yeah, I was actually kind of thinking like this feud's going to seem a little bit repetitive, but if you keep Pat McAfee out of this and you actually let them call upon their history, you let them call upon, their past friendship, and you let them call upon everything that happened at WrestleMania, and you let them call upon all of that history, I think this simple segment could be like a lot of fun. I really think it could be like a lot of fun. Orton really has kind of a special connection with the crowd. I think at this point, kind of like John Cena with the John Cena heel turn, I don't think that Orton is kind of like ever get booed like ever again.
Orton is just one of those people who can so easily slip between heel and face roles.
Yep.
And do both of them perfectly. I mean, like you said, everything comes natural to him, and it's nice that we're going to actually be getting the feud that we should have had and the story that we should have had going into WrestleMania. I mean, yeah, it's 5 months too late, but I think that at least now they'll be able to tell that actual story, and watch Pat McAfee just randomly show up to troll somebody. Show him in like the crowd or something.
So who wins this feud? Like, what's your initial reaction?
I think Randy wins it first, and then I think Cody, and then it's all to push Cody into turning heel. And I think once Cody turns heel, Cody wins.
I like that a lot, actually.
And that's when you get RK Rhodes, and you see the two of them, two-man power tripping through in the words of Phil Brooks.
You think they really do that?
I could get behind it. I mean, supposedly WWE trademarked RK Rhodes.
I would. I mean, I feel like that's like easy money if they don't do the Codelander thing. Like at some point, the amount of merchandise that you can sell, it seems like such a slam dunk kind of thing to do. A little bit. Maybe it's just me, but you know what I mean.
They've been teasing it for months that he was going to be doing something. So. I mean, look at how he came out at SummerSlam in his gear. I mean, I know it was corporate themed, but it was definitely a more darker version of the gear that he normally wears.
Yeah. So just days after losing the U.S. Championship to Baron Corbin at SummerSlam, Trick Williams was given his rematch, and this was good. I mean, the SummerSlam encounter was short, and I know that I mentioned that several times, and it's amazing when you give them a little bit more time, the kind of wrestling match that you can get. I liked everything about this. Unfortunately, the match did end the exact same way, with Corbin using the title belt to hit Trick for the win. With Williams coming up short, it does seem like, there's going to be some more challengers, and obviously with that a little bit later, we had the little segment with Carmelo Hayes as well. So I think that we're going to kind of playing ring around the rosy with this title a little bit. But I don't actually know if Melo is just going to straight beat Corbin this quickly. But I don't know. What did you make of the match, and what did you make of like kind of where we go from here?
The match itself was better than the SummerSlam one, solely because they gave it more time.
Yep.
And I don't have an issue with it it ending with the title shot again. I think that it shows that Corbin is willing to do whatever it takes just to do it. I think that these two guys are able to work together very well. And the sooner he can get rid of that god-awful furry belt, the better. Especially coming out on the motorcycle. That furry belt just looked horrendous. But I enjoyed his promo backstage afterwards about how he wasn't done and how he came back to prove something. And I think that Melo attacking him makes sense. I probably would have done it sooner than this. But with them being in Boston next week, it's 100% that cheap hometown pop. And I don't know that I think Melo wins on Raw. I think that Trick might interfere and cause a DQ. And I could see that potentially being the main event of Saturday night's main event. Is a triple threat between the two of them. Or three of them.
Then you can put the belt on Melo.
Yep. Have him pin Trick.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And, I just want to say, man, Corbin's Deep Six always looks so good. It looks so good. And I love everything about it. The fluidity in the ring is excellent. And I got to tell you, I have a little Yakti fatigue, and I'm kind of glad the dude wasn't there this week.
For a guy who was not a wrestler coming into WWE, I don't think enough people give Baron Corbin enough credit. Not just for being the company man that he is, like we've stated. I still, to this day, think that them cutting him the first time was a mistake. The guy turns shit into gold with every character they give him, and as evidenced by when he had dog food poured on him by Roman Reigns, he's willing to do whatever they ask him.
A weird old man.
Yeah. So I think overall, I love that he's back. I love that he's getting the push he is. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Money at the Bank match. I don't think he'd win, but I also wouldn't put him past him I'd be okay with him actually winning the briefcase too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could see it. I think right now my favorite to win, my favorite person to win it, the person I would like to win it the most, is probably Solo. I think the person that I don't know.
I honestly haven't really thought about it yet.
Yeah, it's got to be a heel. Maybe Braun Breaker could be fun. That could really help revitalize this character a lot too. Not Oba. Definitely not Oba. I don't think Oba needs it.
No.
Yeah, I think Solo.
Honestly,
is my immediate favorite that I'd like to win it.
Sami Zayn.
That could be fun too.
Because then it gives him that, especially with the way you had Punk rubbing in that, oh, you're to the back of the line. And with him injured, I could see him coming back to be in Money at the Bank and stealing the win.
Yeah.
And that gives him a perfect way back into the title picture. He doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to win it.
Even Kevin, that could even get it on Kevin Owens, to your point earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Next, we had All Hail Chelsea Green, your new women's not interim, as the shirt said so, women's champion, who won at that ladder match at SummerSlam, and the ring had the red carpet, the balloons, the whole 9 yards, the table was champagne. It was cute. She thanked the crowd for sticking by her. She credited her fans for helping her win the title. She also thanked Tiffany before inviting her to the ring. Tiffany said she needed to talk to Chelsea about something, but they were interrupted by Fatal Influence. JC Jane challenged Tiffany to a U.S. title shot. She agreed for next week if she and Green got a tag title shot right now. This obviously led to a fun little tag team match, which did see Fatal Influence pick up the win. I didn't really like all of this. We did have Lash Legend and Nia Jax attack Chelsea and Tiffany after it was over, and this was kind of just, I don't know, a bit all over the place, I guess. I think, I'm fine with JC Jane becoming the next women's U.S. champion. And if we're going to do a thing between Tiffany and Chelsea, I think I'm fine with that too. But this just seemed like kind of a sloppy way to sort of get there. And then obviously you had to insert Nia Jax and Lash Legend in this too. So it was fun until, the very, very predictable interruption by Fatal Influence. I think, all of the extra crap we got here was just kind of a little unnecessary.
I mean, I think Nia Jax is justified in being pissed about how she got kind of hosed in the ladder match.
That's
So I'm
true.
okay with that. Like, real quick question though. Did they officially announce that she's the permanent women's champion now?
So Rhea's going to have surgery, or
I think she already did
she
have
already
it.
did have surgery. So Rhea's going to be done for a while.
Yeah, so I know that there had been talk about taking the interim tag off of it. I didn't know if it had officially happened, if that's why she had the shirt that she did.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything specific, but yeah, I don't know how long Rhea's going to be out for. I mean, either way, it's going to be fun. I have a feeling we're not going to see Rhea until probably like the Royal Rumble. She'll be like the surprise number 30 entrant at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think as far as this segment goes, okay. I mean, if you want to test JC Jane with a title and have it be the U.S. title, I'm okay with it. And I think having all three members of Fatal Influence having gold is huge. Anytime you have factions like that, I think it makes a bigger statement when all three people have some sort of gold on them. I think that my biggest issue was having Chelsea Green take the pin. She's literally your brand new women's champion.
Yeah, I love that.
And you're having this match for a title shot for the US title.
Yep.
Why are you pinning the main champion and not the title holder of the title you're going after?
Yep.
That makes me worried that
They don't give a crap about Chelsea.
yeah, and as soon as we get, I mean, we already knew that because we already know Chelsea's willing to do whatever they ask of her. She always has been. She's always been just like her husband, Matt Cardona. But
Yeah.
I think that it just is a sign that the second we get our first Tiffany Chelsea match, Chelsea's going to drop the title. And I don't know that I like that. I want Chelsea to hold the title for at least a couple months.
I mean, it might be a couple months until we get that match. So,
And God forbid, I do not want her dropping that title to Nia Jax.
we did have an interesting segment with the R-Truth and Damian Priest and the War Raiders backstage after another exchange, and Priest got a little annoyed with R-Truth. I don't know if they're going to break these two dudes up. They seem like they're working all right, but I don't know. What did you make of that? And I guess what do you make of in general SmackDown's kind of still terrible tag team division?
This is all just a holdover for the Tongans to win the belt and whoever Shinsuke is bringing in as his backup to get us to a story with that. I think that the War Raiders can go back off to Lucha Libre land and the world of Dominic Mysterious. But I think that it's about time we got the belts off of Truth and Priest. Which, interesting fact, I didn't realize that Damian Priest failed 2 tryouts coming into WWE and was up to over 400 pounds before he got himself into shape to make it into WWE, which seems absolutely incredible to me for what the guy looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Truth Priest experiment has about run its course, as evidenced by the fact that you could tell that Priest was getting fed up with Truth. And I think that, like I said, you're going to see inevitably those belts end up on your Tongan Empire and us get that feud, which honestly, that promo from Shinsuke for being a tape vignette, we've always said WWE does a great job with those.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a nice little video package for Brock Lesnar as well, with regards to the retirement. And it was succinct. It was fine. I think
missed that.
Also one on Raw as well. So it's fine. But I know you wanted to talk about our main event here and everything that happened in it because you had literally just finished it. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about your favorite wrestler and the match that your favorite wrestler had and the surprise we saw at the end of the match.
So first off, R.I.P. Dory Funk. We forgot to mention that, but I know they did a salute to him, so we wanted to get that out there. Obviously, our main event was Charlotte versus Goldberg, and I think that the fact that it was in the main event slot put more eyes on it and put it in that higher expected tier as far as what you would expect the quality of the match to be. Obviously, this feud has been simmering for a couple months now, ever since Jade Berg took out Alexa Bliss. And I think that hopefully this is the signifier of this being the end of this feud, or like coming into the end stages of the feud. Like, I know we're gonna get another at least multi-person match just based off of what happened, but hopefully it means that we're getting towards the end of it, because I want Jade Cargill out of the title picture. This match was so incredibly botchy, and to see Charlotte Flair, of all people, who normally can elevate a dead person to a good match. I mean, she made Mercedes Moné look good, and she can't wrestle her way out of a paper bag. So I think that it tells you a lot about the quality of the competition she was in the ring with. And I feel like it's beating a dead horse when it comes to Jade Cargill. It's always the same. She comes out there, she looks terrible, the baddies interfere, she usually ends up winning. Well, this time, after several botches and near falls, some fun moves from other folks that were stolen, I think that you had the usual happen where the baddies came out, the Jade Brigade, only for Alexa Bliss to show up with Lily and her arm still in her big giant cast, which I'm assuming is part of why this is happening, to use her Bray Wyatt powers to make the lights go out, because that was Bray Wyatt's superpower, was turning the lights off.
It's true.
And when the lights came back on, standing on the ring post was former NXT US North American champion and former women's NXT champion Tatum Paxley, who proceeded to take out the Jade Brigade with a humongous crossbody that got such incredible height, allowing Charlotte to pick up the win after hitting not just a Sister Abigail DDT in honor of Alexa, but also a diving natural selection. And
Which looked good.
Yes, and I think that, honestly, I don't think Jade should win a single one of these matches against Charlotte. I doubt that's going to happen, but I think just overall, they need to bury Jade to the point of going and working on her intangibles. And I'm very curious just with why they decided to go with Tatum Paxley as the person to be joining Charlotte and Alexa.
I mean, who else was it going to be? Who else was it going to be?
I mean, there's a bunch of people they could have brought up from NXT, but I guess the thing that they were trying to go for was, oh, she's like a live action version of Lily. And mind you, I love Tatum Paxley. I think she's fantastic, and I'm incredibly disappointed that we're going to be losing her from her interactions with Shiloh in NXT, because I love the two of them together. So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully pairing her with two veterans like Alexa and Charlotte is going to do wonders for her career. She's already a damn good wrestler. I will say, though, I'm a little bit surprised that with everything going on within Raw and down by the river, Lyra Valkyria, who is Tatum's best friend, allegedly, that they didn't send her over there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just have a bigger problem with the women's division in general. It really is hurting SmackDown not having Rhea there. And where's Blake Monroe? Why isn't she wrestling? Like, what is going on here?
She didn't even have a segment.
Why are we waiting so long to just have her wrestle? Like, let's go. Let's get with the program here a little bit. Like, I'm kind of a little tired of just some of the nonsense within WWE. And just the way they cannot book the women's division. Like you said earlier, pinning your champion, and every week it's just the same thing with Jade Cargill. It's not interesting. It's not interesting.
Give me your thoughts on this. I'm going to fantasy book for a second again.
Okay.
We finally get Chelsea and Tiffany, and Chelsea retains via DQ because Blake Monroe comes out and takes out both of them. Blake Monroe either wins the women's Money at the Bank match or in a triple threat against Tiffany and Chelsea, pins one of them to become your new SmackDown Women's Champion.
I like Blake Monroe to win Money in the Bank. And the reason I say that is one word: merchandising.
That briefcase will be all blinged out.
She's going to bling out that brief. Somebody did that before.
Tiffany.
Was it Tiffany who had the pink briefcase and all the other? Yeah. Because she was the when she was like Nia's little, whipping girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Blake winning the briefcase and then blinging it out and then WWE selling said blinged out briefcase kind of makes a lot of sense. So
Yep.
right now, Blake is probably my early pick to win the women's Money in the Bank. But with that said, we need to get her wrestling. Her first match can't be Money in the Bank.
No. Especially with her going around and attacking everybody, not just like one person. She's literally been attacking everybody from the women's division.
Yep.
I think that she definitely needs to get some sort of in-ring experience on the main roster behind her.
Yeah, have her beat Julia. Everybody else does.
Or Kiana James.
Yeah, have her beat them. Everybody else does. So that was this edition of the Blue Brand. What is your final rating for the show?
So before I give you my rating on our weekly SmackDown review, two things. First of all, who wins the Lucha tournament?
I don't even know who's in the Lucha tournament.
So the big ones out of WWE are Penta, Rey Fenix, and Dragon Lee. No El Grande and no Dominic Mysterio in the tournament, which surprises me. I think it's going to be Penta. I think
versus Roman Reigns would be a fun little thing to do.
Yes, I think right now is where you need to capitalize on that. I could also get behind Penta versus Rey Fenix. I think that would be a phenomenal match with their two styles.
No doubt.
And but I think the lack of Dominic and El Grande in the tournament kind of surprised me. But I'm glad that it's not going to be El Grande, especially considering as popular as he is.
I don't want to watch him wrestle Roman Reigns.
And he's still kind of a joke character.
Roman would say that the reason he's not in this is because he would need to win it if he was in it, and Roman would say no to that match.
Or have him lose because you have Dominic cost him, since Dominic is supposed to be facing him for the title.
Yeah.
And then second thing, there was no Danhausen segment, was there?
Fine with it.
And that's what I was going to say, is that's a good thing, right? That we skipped a week from any Danhausen stuff?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. I think we should get the same from Raw, too. I think if we go like 2 weeks before we get something Danhausen related, I think that will give us a little bit of a soft reset on his goofiness. And that leads into my review here, my score of my soft reset on SmackDown. I give it a 3.5, just under a 4 out of 5. I think it was the best episode of SmackDown in a long time, considering as normally we come on here and just bitch and moan about it. My only real complaint was the botchmania in the main event. And like I said, even though there was way more talking on this episode, WWE did a very good job of having those people doing the talking being among the best on the mic that they have. I mean, I could sit through a half an hour segment of Punk and Owens going at each other every week. And I think that is the only way WWE is going to be able to get away with doing that kind of promo. So like I said, I think it was a very good episode for the most part, and that it definitely stands at the top so far of what we've seen this year on WWE Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, I like the Rhodes versus Orton stuff. I like the Owens versus Punk stuff. I would have liked a little bit more wrestling on my wrestling show. And I think, it's amazing. Like we've said 1,000 times on this channel, when you give wrestlers more time, they put on good matches. And this was, lo and behold, Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams was the best match on the show. And it got more time than the SummerSlam match, which to no surprise led to a great match. I would have liked just Rey Fenix to kind of continue defending that Mexican TV title that he is
Yeah.
carrying. I've been enjoying those matches. They've been stealing the show the last few weeks that they've been doing it. But all in all, I think SmackDown was fine. To your point, I think it was a better episode than like it normally has been. But again,
It's not a high bar.
the women's division, man, it is just not. It's not good. It is not.
I don't know they can fix it, can they? Like Raw, at least they're trying to fix, but I don't know that they have the writers or the talent to be able to fix the women's SmackDown
They
division.
don't have the writers. They've got the talent. They don't have the writers. They absolutely don't have the writers. They have buried so many of the women on that roster, and like every opportunity you get to build somebody up, you bury them. You just literally just pinned your champion. It's like what are we doing here?
Yep.
So I don't know. With that though, my final rating for the show is a rest in peace, Dory Funk Jr. out of 5. So that is our show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, let us know what you thought of the blue brand. Did you enjoy it? Do you think that SmackDown is going to turn the page here? Or are we just, doomed to repeat with the women's division here? So with that, I have been Mike, joined by Mr. Real Deal. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. Super kick that subscribe button and take care.